stay with this story and bring in Mustafa Barghouti, Secretary General of the Palestinian National Initiative. And he joins us live from Ramallah in the occupied West Bank. Thank you very much indeed for your time, Mustafa. First of all, your reaction to this morning's developments.
What we've seen today is nothing but a fascist behavior by a fascist Israeli government, which continues its policy of terrible massacres and the act of absolute genocide against the Palestinian population of Gaza. This school is the school number 80. 80 schools have already been bombarded by Israel, and all these schools were serving as shelters for the people who were displaced from their homes that Israel has destroyed. Like in this particular case, in this school, the population, the people there are from Gaza City, who lost their homes that were completely destroyed by Israel, and they were sheltering in this school. What Israel claims that they are attacking this place because they are after military people is untrue, incorrect, and it's one of the Israeli lies that we've heard before. But even if there was a gunman there or more, you can't kill all these women and children just to reach one person. This is unacceptable.
Yeah, the Israeli military, they've said that some 20 Hamas and Islamic Jihad soldiers were operating from that facility.
And how did they count them? I mean, this is in particular a proof of their lie. It's one of their lies to justify acts of massacres and acts of genocide. Why did they kill more than 35,000 children and women so far in Gaza? They have already killed 50,000 Palestinians in Gaza Strip and injured more than 93,000. 72% of them are women and children. This is one of the massacres that Israel is continuing because their real goal is ethnic cleansing and total genocide of the Palestinian population of Gaza. And in my opinion, Netanyahu did this massacre in particular because he wants to undermine the possibility of reaching a ceasefire after the American, Egyptian, and Qatari declaration about trying to achieve a ceasefire.
Well, indeed, and we understand that ceasefire talks are due to resume later next week, perhaps on Thursday, although we've now had some warning signs, particularly from Egypt, one of the key mediators, that this may well be a stumbling block in those negotiations. Do you think that they can continue with this event in mind?
I think Netanyahu will commit not only this massacre, but probably more other massacres to stop the possibility of reaching an agreement. And even if he sends a delegation, he will keep changing his instructions so that a deal would never be reached. The only way for these negotiations to succeed is for the United States government, which has become participant in the war crimes that are happening in Gaza by supplying Israel with $23.5 billion of these weapons and bombs that are used to kill Palestinians. The only way is for this American government to immediately pressure Netanyahu and force him to accept ceasefire. Without that, we will never see a ceasefire in Gaza, and these massacres will continue. And this could lead absolutely to a terrible regional war. What Israel is doing is beyond description. Imagine if somebody told all the Turkish people in Turkey to cluster in one place, Ankara, and then continued to bombard them in that city. This is exactly what Israel is doing now. 1.6 million are clustered in a very little strip on the sea, and a small and another 700,000 are clustered in a very small area in Gaza City area, and they are bombarding them continuously and committing massacres. Israel is doing genocide in front of the eyes of the whole world.
There's likely to be a change in the US administration, whether that be a change in the Democratic leader or indeed a change for a Republican president. Kamala Harris, the Democratic nominee, she has addressed the situation at a rally overnight, saying that now is the time for a ceasefire and now is the time to strike a deal to get the hostages home. When you look ahead to what is a potential change in that administration, what are your feelings?
We don't have time to wait. By the time Kamala Harris becomes the president and then gathers her consultants and so on and starts to think about doing something, we would lose hundreds of thousands of people. We don't have time. We need immediate action now, not only by the United States, but by the whole international community. And the United States can force Netanyahu to accept ceasefire in 5 minutes. All they need is to send him a telegram saying, we will stop supplying you with any weapons until you accept a ceasefire.
Mustafa, we thank you for your time. Appreciate you coming on the programme. Mustafa Barghouti there joining us from Ramallah.